not used to speak in Telugu also often, because I don't get to speak Telugu there. So that's the reason I'm more used to Hindi speaking, although I'm not expert in Hindi, but speaking, I learn. And initially I used to give sessions in English only, because I was not knowing Hindi. But there people were not understanding. So I got to start speaking in Hindi, which was neither my mother tongue nor my expertise. But yes, slowly, gradually I learned Hindi. So now I'm used to speaking in Hindi that I forgot English. Only when I go to colleges or universities or some corporates or somewhere, only then I get to speak in English. Otherwise, it's all in Hindi. And Telugu is really rare when I go home. Then a couple of sessions which I gave in different villages or somewhere, then I get to speak in Telugu. Otherwise, it's all Hindi or really in English. Okay, anyways. So I was asked to speak on preaching, the importance of preaching, as well as the principles that a person has got to adopt or follow while preaching. So ఈ రోజున ఒకటి ప్రచారం గురించి మనం చర్చిస్తాం, రెండవది ప్రచారంలో పాటించాల్సినటువంటి సిద్ధాంతాల గురించి కూడా చర్చిస్తాం. ప్రచారం గురించి అంటే the importance of preaching. I'll be talking about the importance of preaching and why we got to preach. First 5-10 minutes maybe we'll devote to importance of preaching. First of all, see, what is the importance of the fire brigade? What is their importance? Fire brigade, you understand? Fire brigade are the ones who diffuse fire. Whenever there's ekadana agni పెరుగుతూ ఉంటే అక్కడ ఆర్పడానికి గాను ఫైర్ ఇంజిన్స్ తీసుకొచ్చి దే pour water on it. They are meant to protect the people from fire. Similarly, we are also doing the same job. We are protecting people from the fire, from the forest fire of material existence. Samsara dava nalalita loka tranaya kharunya ghana ghanatvam. Because people are caught up in this forest fire of material existence, and we are trying to help them, pull them out of this fire. And if we leave them like that, ఒకవేళ వాళ్ళని అలానే వదిలేస్తే ఏమవుతుంది? They'll be burnt alive. There's nobody else who can rescue them. They'll be burnt alive. So that's why the preachers are playing a very, very important role in in protecting and saving those souls who are actually caught up in this fire of material existence. And if we do not make an attempt to rescue, then we will be letting people die and burn and die in the fire. Because this is in one sense, ISKCON is that only movement which is actually seen to be propagating the message of Krishna in such a systematic way and in a large scale. there are no other institutions. I mean, in Christianity, there are many other institutions who are actually propagating. There are many missionaries. In Christianity, there are many missionaries who are propagating the message. But in Sanatan Dharma, rarely we get to see any organization who's doing a very organized or systematic preaching. సనాతన ధర్మంలో మనం ఎక్కువగా ఇటువంటి సంస్థలు దేని ద్వారా అయితే ప్రచార కార్యాలను ముందుకు తీసుకెళ్తున్నారో అటువంటి సంస్థలు చాలా తక్కువగా చూస్తాం. ఉదాహరణకి మనం రీసెంట్ గా వింటున్నామట, తిరుపతి టిటిడి ఉంది కదా, తిరుపతి తిరుమల దేవస్థానం వాళ్ళు ఏం చేస్తున్నారంటే సనాతన ధర్మాన్ని ప్రచారం చేయడానికి గాను, తర్వాత ఎస్పెషలీ సౌత్ ఇండియన్ స్టేట్స్ లో ఎక్కువ కన్వర్షన్స్ అవుతున్నాయి కదా. There are many conversions happening in the South Indian states, especially centered around in Tamil Nadu and Andhra Pradesh. Kerala is anyways gone. It's now Andhra Pradesh and Tamil Nadu are on very high stake. వాళ్ళు ఏం చేస్తున్నారంటే టిటిడి, they have appointed person each for each village. They have appointed a person for each village. And they are paying that person. They are paying salary to that person. And what is the duty of that person? He is supposed to go around the village and ensure that some spiritual activities are being conducted in the village. And he'll be keeping track of any conversions also. Because TTD has good financial potential. They have good finances. They are opulent. They have good resources. But the problem is that because they have good amount at their disposal, they are able to appoint a person for each village and they are paying them. But the problem is that who is going to monitor these people, whether they are doing their job or not, and what training do they have, and what do they actually know about Sanatana Dharma to actually propagate Sanatana Dharma? What do they actually know about Sanatana Dharma in order to propagate? వాళ్ళకి సనాతన ధర్మం గురించి ఏం తెలుసు అని వాళ్ళు ప్రచారం చేస్తారు. డబ్బులైతే వస్తున్నాయి, కాకపోతే వాడికి ఏం తెలుసు సనాతన ధర్మం గురించి ప్రచారం చేయడానికి? So they are doing it as a matter of duty. That's it. So even TTD has the resources in terms of finance, but they do not have that expertise to actually propagate and deliver the message of Sanatana Dharma in a very systematic, organized way. So although there are many other people who are trying to preach, just like Chinnajaya Swami and others, they are also trying to preach in a big way, but the problem is that they do not have these organized way of preaching. They are doing mass preaching. They're conducting mass programs and simply conducting, but there is no practical cultivation of people as that we are doing it here. Just like we have here a system wherein every person who is coming into the organization, someone or the other in the form of a mentor or a counselor or a facilitator, he'll be following up with that person, he'll be keeping in touch with that person, he'll be kind of guiding him moment to moment from every step. He'll be guided properly. In that way, there's nothing like that's being followed there. So that's why in this scenario, it is actually ISKCON is one such organization. It's not just one of the organizations. It is rather almost the only organization which is actually propagating the principles of Sanatana Dharma in a very systematic, organized way. And we being part of such a esteemed organization, if we do not take this service of preaching on a very serious note, మనం ఇంత గొప్ప సంస్థలో ఉండి ఈ ప్రచారాన్ని ఎంతో సీరియస్ గా తీసుకోలేకపోతే we are actually cheating Prabhupada, we are cheating the society, and we are cheating our own selves. We're actually cheating. Actually, if we are not preaching enough, because the other day was when I was with Guru Maharaj in Visakhapatnam, and fortunately Guru Maharaj has come to my home, to our home in Visakhapatnam. So when he has come there, so fortunately he allowed us to do his Pada Puja also. We did. My parents and me and my sisters, we all did Pada Puja. And after that, we were talking, Maharaj and myself were talking. Then I told Guru Maharaj, Maharaj, we have a Kurma Kshetra, which is very close by from here, just 60 kilometers from my home. And when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has come, when he started with this South Indian Yatra, the very first destination was Kurma Kshetra, and second was Simhachala. And our home, my hometown almost falls almost in between both of them. It is around 15 to 20 kilometers from Simhachalam and 60 from Kurma Kshetra. Then Maharaj was asking, then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu must have gone by your village then. Then I just told Maharaj, Kurma Kshetra is that very place, as you know, it is a place wherein Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave this eternal instruction to all the devotees. Through Kurma Brahman, although he was instructing Kurma Brahman, but through Kurma Brahman he was instructing all the devotees. ఆ కూర్మ క్షేత్రంలో ఉండేటువంటి కూర్మ బ్రాహ్మణుడికి ఇచ్చినటువంటి ఆజ్ఞ ద్వారా చైతన్య మహాప్రభువు మనందరికీ కూడా సేమ్ ఇన్స్ట్రక్షన్ ఇస్తున్నారు అనమాట. వాట్ ఈస్ దట్ ఇన్స్ట్రక్షన్? జారే దేఖో తారే కహో కృష్ణోపదేశ్. Because the Kurma Brahman, being influenced by the devotion, by the devotional ecstasies of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he wanted to leave by his home and he wanted to follow Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So he was pleading Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to accept him. He was literally pleading Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. When Chaitanya Mahaprabhu did not respond, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu started moving. This Kurma Brahman was running after Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, please accept me, please accept me. కూర్మ క్షేత్రంలో ఉండేటువంటి బ్రాహ్మణుడు ఎప్పుడే చైతన్య మహాప్రభుడు వారు వెళ్ళిపోతుంటే కూర్మ బ్రాహ్మణుడు కూడా చైతన్య మహాప్రభు వెనకాల వెళ్ళడం స్టార్ట్ చేస్తారనమాట. దెన్ చైతన్య మహాప్రభు సేస్, నో, యూ నీ నాట్ హ్యావ్ టు కమ్ with me, rather you should stay at your home, sthane sthitaha, simply stay back at your home and simply preach the message of the Supreme Lord. Whomsoever you meet, you simply start speaking to him what Krishna got to say. కృష్ణుడు ఏమైతే చెప్పాడో అదే సందేశాన్ని ఎవరిని కలిస్తే వాళ్ళకి చెప్తూ ఉంది. So in this way, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has instructed him, and through him, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has instructed all of us. And this is one very prime instruction that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave us. And this is not just one instance as such. Rather, in multiple instances, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave similar instructions. Just like, at one other place, you must have heard of this. Bharata bhumile manushya janma hoila ja, janma sarthaka kori karo paropkar. And in essence, if we summarize all the instructions of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, in essence we can say that there are two prime instructions that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave all of us. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave all of us, and what are they? First one, janma sarthaka kori. First of all, perfect your own lives, and secondly, preach the message of Krishna. One is perfect your own lives, and second is preach the message of Krishna. These two are the prime instructions that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave to all of us. So that's why, our existence, our presence in this moment, while being in this moment, everybody should endeavor towards these two instructions. One is Janma Sarthaka Kori, and second, Karo Paropkar. We should never compromise with these two principles at any cost. Because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's movement is the only shelter of the entire humanity at this point of time. There's no one else who could actually rescue the humanity from its condition as of now. There's nobody who can rescue them. There's only Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's movement who is going to rescue. And this we should understand. Just like during Srila Prabhupada's early days, when Srila Prabhupada just started preaching and people started getting, started coming to the center, and people started practicing bhakti and all. And many people in the city also, slowly, gradually, they started getting to know that something like this is happening. Because in those days, our 1960s, late 1960s, during late 1960s, there was kind of a counter culture which was actually being practiced in America, wherein people coming from very good backgrounds, from very good families, with very good educational background as well, being fed up with the kind of culture and being frustrated. Out of frustration, they used to give up their studies, they used to give up their jobs, they used to give up their family, and they simply used to go onto the roads, and they simply used to drink, take drugs, and they used to live very, very free life. And this is what is hippie culture was actually going on at that time. And the parents were very much fed up, and and a lot of commotion was actually happening during those days in America. And the government was spending continuously millions of dollars in order to reform all of these children, all of these young generation who are living by the studies and living by the jobs and living by the families, and they're simply roaming around on the roads and in the streets. But practically, the government was unable to do anything with them. They were not listening. They were not listening, and the government was practically unable to do anything. And ultimately, unable to do anything, what they used to do, they used to capture these people and lock them up in the jails. Lock them up in the jails. So in that way, one day, one of the parents, they complained, lodged a complaint at the police station saying that my son also ran away some time back, and is into drugs and this and that. So when the police were in search of that son, and they finally found him, and they were and they started chasing this person. And this person ran and ran and ran and ran and ran. He went into the streets, and this way, that way, this way, that way. Finally entered in an apartment, and there one door was open, and immediately he got into the apartment and he closed the door. And the police comes up to that apartment, and they knock the door. You're able to understand? Follow me. They start knocking the door. And as soon as he knocked, a person opens the door, and to the surprise of the police, the person who opened the door was a devotee. Because the apartment into which this person entered was actually an ISKCON center. ISKCON center. As soon as the police saw the devotees there and found that this was an ISKCON center, and got to know that this person